Hello.
Sega.
I would like to give everyone a forewarning that I did a lot of creative editing in this video. And,
Just gave it the old YouTube poop treatment.
yeah, basically. I'm just hoping that it comes
This is
off
us, by the way.
Yeah, I recorded this, because I wanted to try to do the long play thing. You get Steam messages, so enjoy that. They don't pop up a lot. But, yeah, I'm just gonna say I hope that the editing choice that I went with is more amusing than it is, like, jarring or obnoxious.
Okay.
But,
But if you don't like our sense of humor, why are you watching these videos?
So this is a game that I may or may not have mentioned already that I played it a lot when I was younger, and I decided to play it for our little video series because I wanted to have like my own opinion of whether or not it's held up, and not to get too ahead of myself. My opinion of this game is it's okay.
Oh no, they don't use Comic Sans as the font anymore. They upgraded it to an actual font with the PC version.
Look, invokes that.
Oh, the Hedgehog take everyone out?
It's a massacre. So I played this way after the fact, and I did not care for it. But I don't know. After that first, maybe seeing this back to back, I'll appreciate this game a bit more.
Yeah. Oh, I can kind of barely hear you there.
Oh, that might be on your end.
This is much better than the first game. I don't know about much, but hey.
Much better, yeah. I mean, at the very least, it just has a better budget, you know? I don't know if budget's the right word, just like it looks
The
like...
cutscenes are what they were.
Yeah, they're animated. Also, I will make no claims that I played this game well, but I didn't play it terribly, so...
I mean, you saw me play it once. I'm not gonna judge.
Yeah, here's the
Something
thing,
like
though,
20 minutes in Pumpkin Hill.
this is the thing, like, I haven't played this game in years, and this is just my first attempt at, like, you know, playing it. I did a couple of restarts just to be like, hey, maybe this went on too long.
So, just for a bit of context, this is the version on Steam. I'm assuming this is based on the GameCube version. 'Cause I've noticed that the graphics are way better.
Yeah, pretty much based on the GameCube version, only a little, a little more changes here and there, but mostly the goes in the GameCube version. Except all the features they added into the GameCube version, to the battle, the like multiplayer and stuff, that's DLC.
Yeah, I could have paid $3 for it, but I wouldn't have actually used it, so... I don't know if that would have included the intro or not, but,
It would have, but
okay.
yeah.
It's just weird how, like, it just has, like, this nice little, like, the logo being built out of, like, metal or whatever, but it doesn't have an intro, and I was like, okay, I guess I gotta pay for that.
I'm gonna buy the intro.
Alright, I did show this off once, the Chao Garden, so, like, now you have to, like, grab these keys, and there's 3
To
boxes.
actually enter it after,
Yeah. There's 3 boxes
Damn
per
it, they
level.
lost the hub will. Damn it.
I was actually trying to remember when I did this. I was like, I remember there's a bonus for getting all 3 of the boxes, but I didn't remember what it was.
Oh yeah, and here's the soap shoes.
Oh, yeah.
The actually, like, licensed shoes that let you grind on rails.
Right,
No,
yeah.
probably doesn't work as well as this, but
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the real.
yeah. They actually edited out. There were advertisements for them, but they edited them out of the PC version.
I don't know why I did.
Advertising for it.
I was like, what's up here again? Oh, yeah, dumb shit.
What is that?
I don't know.
But be that aside, this is definitely pointed out as being one of the strongest openings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't deny that.
Also, the bonus for getting all 3 crates is a really rare animal for the Chao.
Oh yeah.
Is this the first game we've seen where the opening level is a city, not like a typical Green Hill Zone or like a beach or something?
Yeah. Although the beach isn't very typical either.
I guess not, but it's still kind of nature, and it's got like a big open water.
It kind of became a thing later, like Sonic Battle and Sonic Advance both have like beaches as like their primary stage.
Yeah, I think it's kind of. Oh right, that that looked like it gave you a little.
Yeah.
Look at there.
I got like 180 there, and I'm like, wait, look.
A big girl. It's quite cartoony the way it does its corners.
Yeah.
I mean, even knowing that this is like the GameCube version, the animation I imagine would be the same, and I can always say it's leaps and bounds better than what we saw previously.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering now, like, how much different this is from the Dreamcast one, because, like, if they're roughly the same, then this game is a giant step up from the previous one.
I don't want to say anything like this that's misinformed.
Oh,
but
hello world achievement.
I got
first
like
Dreamcast game with Steam achievements built in.
I got like 3 or 4 achievements throughout this entire thing. There's not that many, so it's kind of weird that there was one for the first level.
I think I know why that is. I think because this particular version was made for like the 360, and 360 games, like for whatever reason, they had a cap on achievements based on how much you pay for the game. So it's like capped at 15, and I imagine that just transferred over to Steam.
Oh yeah, the what is it, like the Chow library or whatever? Like that area you go to like buy stuff? That's not here either?
This game of tag is boring. I'm out.
I think that might have been a part of the battle.
Finally decided to show up, eh? Okay, bring it
Monitor
on.
Bigfoot reporting to headquarters. Intruder has been located.
Copy that.
So
So
the story thus far is kind of an interesting start.
In media res, yeah.
Where
The humans got their shit together and actually found that, hey, we can defend ourselves.
yeah, they somehow captured Sonic. I'm not sure how that happened.
I lured him with a chili dog. Scratch and Grounder did it all the time.
Oh, okay.
Then Sonic was like, I'm done being captured.
There's a Planet of the Apes reference, naturally.
I remember too late that you can actually like speed this up by jumping on the crate and then hitting him in there, but
As long as you've pointed out that you knew in the commentary, you're fine.
Right, yeah, so, I guess I'll get this out of the way. I feel like a lot of the mistakes I made in this video were related to the fact that I trust the homing attack more than I should. The homing attack, as I found, is, pretty good if you're, like, really close to your enemy, but if you're not, it doesn't even try, and you'll just go careening into their hurt box and, die.
I think it's a bit more different with these enemies who have a specific weak point rather than just, you know,
Oh,
get
yeah,
them
yeah.
anywhere.
I just noticed he's just doing a normal somersault if you jump small enough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a fun flip.
It's funny because he has like the blue around him implying that he's spinning, but
Guys,
he's not.
there.
I'm
Here we
curious
go.
about the Dreamcast version, but
It all starts with this.
It all starts with this.
Gaining the ultimate power.
the ultimate edgelord meme.
The Chaos Emerald. Something I didn't realize watching this, or playing this rather, is there's a lot of like line readings in this game that probably should have been rewritten. Like they weren't
Exactly.
translated quite well. Like that's the Chaos Emerald, not one of the 7.
Control!
Sure, it's so stupid.
Well, you see, the thing about that is, like, this is my first Sonic game, and all throughout, like, all the commercials are something attitude, right? And I basically thought that meant Sonic was definitely, like, fucking Poochie, you know? Because I knew that, that kind of bullshit, you know? So this didn't phase me at all. This is exactly what I was thinking.
I
would
can see
happen.
that.
Oh, that was abrupt.
Yeah.
See, when I last played this, I was like, these cutscenes are terrible, but then seeing it after Sonic Adventure 1, I'm like, these are cinematic masterpieces in comparison.
What are you talking about? That emerald.
Like, the mouths actually look like they've tried. It's still kind of crappy, but
The Master Emerald contains
Yeah, like, it's not great, but honestly, like, it's a huge leap from the first one.
what the?
Like, it's kind of hard for me to believe this is made by the same team on the same console.
yeah. I mean, GameCube version may be like higher res, like better models and things, but the animation is what I'm talking about, and they wouldn't have changed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, them trampling over each other is something
Yeah, they never, like, accounted for how long or how short lines are supposed to be. It's ridiculous.
He reached out, but he accidentally punched the Master Emerald into pieces.
And look what Juice did to my emerald.
Also, she's just there. She's not really introduced. She's just there arguing with Knuckles.
If it's in pieces, I
Yeah.
can restore it. And by
It
the
almost
way,
feels like the Dark Stories has a better introduction to what the fuck is going on with the hero story.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh right, I guess I forgot about that. So I
I despise
played. I think I beat the hero side before I lost my patience.
No, you
Never seen the Dark Story.
no, you stopped at, like, the second Knuckles level.
No. That's the second time I played it. The first time it was on the 360.
Right, okay.
3 pieces of the Master Emerald.
So this
Next
is
time I'm
definitely where, like, I lost most of my lives, not due to actually dying, but to being like, this took too long. Not this level in particular, just like the treasure hunting thing, which is...
It's very random.
Yeah. It's
And
one
they
of
broke the radar. It makes no sense.
I am not as pissed off about that as you.
well, yeah, no, Bob has a really weird edge case and he won't let go. But
No, I won't.
after playing this again, I can say that I don't think I'm going to defend these stages as much as you, Yoshi, because
No, I'm not gonna
I don't...
defend them so much as they're not quite that bad.
I find them...
They're a lot more
It just
fleshed out
seems.
and seem more like of an idea than they were in the first game. It's just not necessarily the greatest idea,
Yeah.
I just don't get why the
but it's not the worst.
the radar works that way. Like why it can only find one at a time. Other than we need to pad this out. It needs to last longer.
I mean, that's it. That's literally it. It's just, it would be
Yeah.
too easy if it showed all of them. The thing
It's
that
a
gets
lot-
me is, like, the hint system is weird because I feel like the hints are mostly good for finding pinpoint locations, except that, like, unless you know where it's specifically talking about, it's not that helpful because the radar is already good enough at finding pinpoint locations. Like, the entire difficulty of the treasure hunting segment is getting that green. Like, once you got that, you've pretty much got it set.
Ow!
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the hints are not just like, here's a ball it shows you. It gives you, like, 3 progressively better hints about where it is.
Yeah, but, like, they don't, like, because the thing that you're looking for is a general area. Like, that's the thing that is most important in finding those emeralds, because the radar can help you do the rest. But the hints are all like, oh, it's this specific gravestone on... It's like, okay, which corner of the map is that?
There's no mistake about it. This must be the island. It's a secret military base that is reinforced. And
How to make someone appreciate Sonic Adventure 2? Have them endure the first game first.
satellite TV. I still can't
So this is his brother now.
Yeah.
Or rob the bank. Wait for me, okay, Sonic? I'm on my way.
It's like the
Going
same
to a
voice.
military base because he heard about, yeah.
Look, it's Amy. And 8-Man too. What's
They've
Amy
teamed up.
doing here? Doesn't matter. I have to help Amy because she's in danger. Tornado, transformation.
It's the same voice with the same deliveries.
It's slightly different.
It is a
But-
bit different. I'd say the biggest difference is like the direction. It just seems a little more dynamic. Not like I'm reading things off a script and I don't know what they mean. It's like they actually told the kid they'd be happy or sound angry or something.
Can I mention that they introduced this character mechanic through a really weird one-on-one battle?
Oh
did
yeah,
that, didn't
kind of
they?
a weird way to show off your playstyle. Then again, I guess this is still where you're like, you read the manual.
The weird thing for me is because I played this like really out of order. I played this after Sonic Heroes, so I've kind of lost perspective. If that makes sense. I keep thinking this is newer than Heroes.
This time I'll let you go.
It gets a step back instead of a step forward.
Yeah. I kind of forget how old it is.
You did it. But what
Oh great, this is bad.
Yeah. I really wanted to mention at some point that
don't you know?
randomly I got this weird urge to go listen to all of the like vocal tracks in Sonic games,
Again?
like for better or worse, and just see how silly some of them are, and see if others like hold up.
You stay here
And I discovered a lot of weird things.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that the Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles themes from Adventure 1 are all in this game, but they sound entirely different. It's weird. Like, they have the same lyrics, but they do not sound like the same songs. The Knuckles one is bizarre. Like, it's like a new song with like the old lyrics layered on top of it. So we have two rappers going on at once. It's like, why?
So anyway, this third game style is, as you can see, also just Gamma.
I really do not like this.
Except now you actually have you don't have just a lock-on laser. You have actually little bullets, which normally don't matter. But there are times when they can.
I don't care for this at all.
Yeah, the thing about
I'm not gonna say it's the worst thing ever, but
the thing about this versus Gamma is that Gamma controlled more like a Sonic character, whereas Tails and Eggman controlled like fucking tanks. And
that's appropriate, but
it's not fun. And
Yeah.
I don't know how I tolerated it when I was younger, because it's like, at worst, it's really awkward because of the way these things control, and at best, it's really dull and uninteresting.
that was my experience.
Because, like, there's not anything interesting.
It is pure mediocre platforming. Pure mediocrity.
Well, it's not even like the platforming is actually the worst part. There's something that I forgot about, and we'll see a little bit of it later. If you're trying to jump on something, and like you're like pushing up against the wall, and you don't quite make it, for some reason you have like doubled gravity when you're pushing up against the wall. It's like when you're trying to jump on something, you'll seem like you're being pulled back towards the earth, and it's really fucking weird.
My experience with this game was that I didn't like 2/3 of it.
Pretty
And
much.
even that 1/3 I was just kind of met on.
The Sonic and Shadow sections are definitely the best, and I would say they're like almost good. Like, not
Yeah, sure.
actually good, but almost good. And then, yeah, that jump, like, you wouldn't think that was hard, but I didn't make it, and I just went, okay, fuck
Nah,
it.
you just suck. This game's perfect. It's a terrible player.
You're still a little quiet. I turned down the game audio because I forgot to do that. You're still a little quiet.
I mean, yeah, but you can turn up individual people in Discord.
He's already maxed. All of you are already maxed.
That's weird. Because, no,
I don't know what to
everything
say.
sounds fine to me, so... Oh yeah, so there's those golden enemies
Yeah.
that are worth a lot of points, and they only appear for a few seconds.
Okay.
I think that's part of their whole, like scoring
Yeah.
system, where you have to get A ranks and everything to get 100%.
Yeah, you get the most points. Like, time bonus is obviously a huge part of your points, but also, this is the one where point farming is the most important, because the more people you kill in one barrage, you get point things.
The more people you kill in one barrage, the more times your tail say, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the nice, radical, cool.
Is it-
Yeah, those are your.
Is there any point to getting good, getting like high number of points? Is anything locked behind that, or?
Getting all the A ranks on everything gives you some like costumes for all the characters for I think versus mode, but maybe the original mode as well. And it's like they're all like.
So if I remember correctly, getting the A-Ranks with one character unlocks the costumes. Getting all the A-Ranks gets you 3D Green Hill Zone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That was easy.
Kind of neat, I guess. I don't know.
It's
Is it?
I mean, it's kind of neat, but I wouldn't call that like 100% unlock neat because
Yeah.
every level in this game has 5 missions, and some of them get stupid hard.
Amy?
Keep your voice down.
I can't quite tell from the recording. Are these pre-rendered or not? Because I know they're obviously using in-game assets.
They're not pre-rendered.
Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
How'd you get here?
'Cause I don't know.
This
This
is an
this
era
is kind
where
of weird.
Rendered
you gotta know,
never
you
tried to
gotta ride
imitate.
with Tails.
You know,
Are
they
you
tried to be
sure you
better
don't
than.
need my help?
I don't know. I just came off playing Resident Evil 4.
The reason I'm in here is because of that fake hedgehog.
I don't know when I should bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up now.
See it?
They keep referring to Shadow as a fake hedgehog,
Were you married?
and I don't know what that means.
I thought I
Like,
You know, one of them fake hedgehogs.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. I guess the idea is that
Not
it's
real.
a fake me. You know, Sonic, and everybody's.
He's still a
Sonic
hedgehog,
because
though, right?
Everyone's colorblind.
Yeah.
So, Eggman's behind this, huh?
What's all that writing on the wall?
I have lots of thoughts on this story, but I will let it play out.
Wait
Before
for
you
me, Sonic.
think about
He's
it.
such a
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack, I think.
Gotta say the pacing is infinitely better.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, absolutely.
So for Sonic 2006, it's decided to reintroduce Hope Worlds. You know what's weird? Like this feels like it should be the first one because it's like more restrained. I'm not really talking about quality, but it's like
There we go. Yeah, that was me being like, oh, the homing attack, yeah, and then...
oh,
it
it did a ledge grab there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can ledge grab. Just I mean, you don't really use it
Sonic?
much, but I mean, you know, might as well have a ledge grab.
I wouldn't have assumed Sonic could do that, but what were you saying, sorry, Yasko?
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, it was just the fact that, like, the homing attack there, it just stopped, like, the moment right before I hit the enemy, because I wasn't close enough when I activated it, so that's why I died. And it was like, yep, that's the homing attack.
For what you don't instantly have the... So can you like revisit stages? Because there was a bit in the first level that clearly wanted you to use Lightspeed Dash, but I forgot you didn't have it.
Yeah,
You in mission mode you can, yeah, because like you have to defeat all the other missions too, and there actually is like some places where you have to go back to get some power-ups that aren't for like the main story, but like some hidden power-ups. Some of them are like just basic, but like one of them is like this secret flute you play at certain shrines to make a path open, and that's how you get to like a lot of the mission 3s are to find this Chao shrine that's hidden in the level, and you need that for it.
Yeah, if you pay attention at the end of that first Tails level, there's like a section that's blocked up by iron blocks at the very end. I was kind of pointing it out because I think that's where his is. But at the time I didn't remember that. I was just like, hey, here's the thing. What the fuck?
You can really tell the difference when like levels are made for a certain character instead of like cobbled together.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This is going to space. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna die.
There's a lot more set pieces in this game. Especially
Yeah.
for Sonic.
What the?
And they're
Oh,
not
where's he
overall
now?
bad, like, you know, relatively speaking.
Where's he now? I blinked.
He jumped off and there was like a chute to fall down or something.
He landed in a set piece.
Okay.
Yeah, he broke through a window and...
That's weird. That's not even the ending. That's...
Yeah, it's a weird little thing. And that's actually the last time we'll see the snowboarding thing, too.
Okay.
Barely made it.
Oh, yeah, I think because I died, it's just like, oh, instant E.
Whatever.
I'm pretty sure you get like no time bonus or something if you die, or your time goes crazy or something.
Oh, here's this.
Shouldn't he have jumped off the rocket here? No, I'm
Fine, so
looking this
good.
again.
Hey, that's...
That blue hedgehog.
Oh, this is one of the most famous cutscenes.
I found you. Faker.
Faker. I think
definitely
you're
heard
the
this
fake
bullshit.
hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh. You're not even good enough to be
I'll
my
make you
fit.
eat those words.
And then they trip all over each other.
There's no time to play games. You won't even get the chance.
He's very
So-
softly spoken, isn't he?
These 1v1 fights suck.
I'm the
Well, at least he's got like a life
I'm the
bar, and not
coolest
just
is the
debug
best.
number.
Yeah.
There's no time. to
Right,
play
yeah,
games.
so I decided to show this off. Every time you fail one of these, first off, the camera gets screwed up there, which I don't know what's going on with that. That's actually always happens. And then you beat him by just jumping, and he keeps running into you. These 1v1 sections suck, and they're stupid, and I hate
The
them.
Sonic 1v1s are really bad because
Oh,
they're
oh, no.
not like.
Oh, they're all
you know.
bad. They are all fucking bad. I will I firmly believe that.
Oh,
I mean, they're not great, yeah, but like. At least with Tails and Eggman, you're two things that feel like they're meant to fight each other.
Oh no, that's my least favorite. And we'll get more to that later.
shouldn't he done this level and then fought him?
No, because the plot
Blow
is
the island,
just overheard that this place is going to blow the fuck up, and so everybody starts running away because it is going to blow the fuck up.
I like the time limit for urgency is only 2 minutes less than your average like Sonic time limit.
It's pretty
Yeah.
generous.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, one of the missions is beat the stage within a time limit, and in this one, they
Right.
give you a harsher time limit for that one, so they
Makes
made
sense,
it
yeah.
kind of basic.
There's a lot of times in this playthrough you're gonna see me like going down one of these paths, like the assault straight forward, and then like I just kind of shoot to the sides and then lose all my momentum, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong.
Absolutely, I do remember that.
That's a thing that just happened in this game. It's I don't know what you were intended to do.
You're intended to not have shitty physics.
Oh yeah,
that year you hit B and did sideways ring dashes across one ring.
yeah, because you can ring dash on every single ring, and it gets really weird sometimes.
This looks pretty linear because I know Sonic Generations was pretty. It actually had some good branching paths.
Oh yeah, this is completely linear. I don't think there's a non-linear Sonic stage in this set, but we shall see.
It's kind of a shame because like those 16-bit games are like, surprisingly open and huge for the time period, and they just kind of went, well, we can't do that anymore.
I mean, I can't imagine them designing this like that much detail into a 3D level.
Especially with Dreamcast tech, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, and the
Oh.
other thing is, like, a lot of that linearity was based on the fact that you fall into another zone, and in 3D, you kind of have to push this in that very specifically if you're going to fall into another zone rather than off into the void. Oh yeah, I think they changed the, like, the life icons in the Steam version for some reason. Because I don't
Yeah,
remember it looking
I'm-
like that at all.
Yeah, I thought so. Small thing.
Maybe it's the
but
Dreamcast
whatever.
one?
Maybe, I don't know.
What the?
I don't know what that balloon is. I have no idea.
It's
That saved your life.
I just mean like I don't know how to get it. I don't know why it's there.
Yeah. Oh my god, I didn't know you could do
find
that.
Yeah.
I remember Sonic
You
Advance
jumped over
1
the-
had.
So this
Was
segment.
that Donkey Kong?
Yes, it was. The first two were as well. This segment, so
What the?
it it might not be obvious. I definitely was hitting the jump button there, and if you could see from that, it's because while that platform's falling, he can't jump because he's falling with it.
Good.
And I don't
think
remember
my-
that being a thing in the GameCube one.
I think my thing here is just like I see the Sonic stages and I'm like, it's not terrible. This game's fine. And then I see like the other two gameplay styles and I'm like, ugh.
Welcome to everyone's opinion of this game.
Yeah, pretty much. I tolerated it a lot more when I was younger, but now I'm like, nah, they're not great. Like, I still think I'm more okay with them than you are, but
I mean, to be fair, I'm probably if I played Sonic Heroes, I'd probably be more lenient than I should be. But
right, yeah, and
it's
that's
probably like not really good. Here it is. Can't wait to
So-
just see you instantly beat this.
No time to lose. I have to hurry and find the Master Emerald.
What is this hellscape?
It's Pumpkin Hill.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah, I don't know what that's... Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention that. I don't know if it was just the Steam version or what, but, I think that's what I'm trying to figure out what the fuck that sound is. A lot of sounds that are supposed to be, like, ambient or quiet through this playthrough are stupid loud, and I'm not sure what's going on there.
Bad chord, I don't know. So,
It's like they
yeah,
expanded this, and it makes it better and worse at the same time.
Yeah.
so I think my
More
Emerald...
thought out and more realized, and not just slapped together. But at the same time, it means you have to interact with it more, and it's still not great.
I think when I had to find it and I got utterly stuck and take my... I've done this twice. I did this once on the 360. I did it again on the PC with SK watching. I think my thing involved the train, and I just didn't realize that you
Yeah,
can
'cause-
affect it or something like that.
yeah, it was like you had to hit, like, a switch to make something appear, and it was on the back of the train. And it's like, that
Yeah.
nothing else in the game is like that, from what I remember. It was just this really weird thing. I mean, and in total fairness, you could have just started over at any time and gotten a different rule of emeralds, but you were sticking with it for whatever reason.
I didn't even consider that. I didn't even know if it would reshuffle it.
Yeah, that shrine there, right there, is one of the ones that you blow on the whistle that you get from going backwards.
You see, it gives you like these landmarks, I guess, Sea of Thieves-esque, but everything's like pretty nondescript, relatively speaking.
Yeah, because, like, there was that one hit, it's like Pumpkin Mountain, so I'm like, do you mean, like, is there
What?
one of these mountains named Pumpkin Mountain, or do you mean those big spires that are shaped like pumpkins? Like, what?
Yeah, what does that
Yeah.
mean?
There's like attempts to put landmarks in these stages, but they don't always work.
And the train's obvious, but that even then, that thing's like moving around and can be affected. It's like,
Oh, is that like the bouncing of the tombstones?
Oh, that was me. There was a ghost enemy that can grab you, and I was trying to show that off, and that's when I remembered, oh, there's also a ghost enemy that just hit you. So I kind of just stood there and looked like an idiot for a second.
So, this is one of the more famous rap songs here.
what? This is a musical history.
Yes, this was all over the charts, but like, I like comparing this to fucking the first stage, like Escape from the City, because like you mentioned like it earlier, like Escape from the City is sort of a generic, is a song that goes with all the themes. Well, this is literally him rapping about him being Knuckles, the echidna,
Yeah.
finding emeralds in the thing, being very literal.
It's funny because I didn't realize until recently that all of his levels actually name drop the level that he's in. And it gets really funny because one of the levels is named Death Chamber. But it's just... And also, honestly, going back to back with these songs, I realized I think Pumpkin Hill is probably my least favorite of his tracks. Because the other ones have like a really nice, like, kind of jazzy thing going on with the sax, and they're pretty neat.
Yeah, I feel
Can I
good.
just say for the record that was a lot easier for you than when I last played this? Because Jesus Christ, that train!
I just...
I just could not wrap my head around that. I know I was getting irrationally like over the top with it, but I was just could not figure that train out.
Okay, I wanted to say this right here.
Oh, it's Robotnik.
I think that this game's plot,
Ugh.
up until this point, was like kind of like mid-level like cartoon show plot. Like there's a fake version of the hero running around causing chaos, and it's like, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. This happens.
I know this goes places. I don't know the specifics, but I know it goes apeshit.
I mean,
It's not really ape shit. It's just kind of moves to space.
I would call this pretty ape shit.
Oh, right. The fact I forgot that we actually go full Independence Day on this shit.
Like,
Well, it's the
it's-
moon, isn't it? It blows up them.
Oh, right.
he blows up half of the fucking moon,
Oh
it-
yeah.
That would fuck the Earth up seriously.
This is basically when Piccolo blows up the moon,
Oh,
was
and
thinking that.
nothing ever comes from it.
Stop mocking me!
Like, because, like, I didn't remember, like, I wouldn't consider most of the plot apeshit even after this, but, like, him blowing up the moon, I'm like, oh, right, I forgot that
referring-
happened, and that's kind of apeshit, that specifically, but,
I was
like,
referring to the stuff with Maria, but like I'm a little vague on the specifics of it, but I just remember some weird relationship stuff.
no, it's just melodramatic.
very, very understated, and it works a lot better than the, like, backstory they try to do it there.
I'm trying to think what that moon thing reminds me of. Like they blew up the damn moon, but what the hell
Wait.
it is?
This.
You can use that to find for
Is this the... Oh no, okay, that's just... Okay, it's something later, sorry. It's just... They do some weird stuff with the Chaos Emeralds in this one.
The Chaos Emeralds can now find each other.
Yeah, there's a radar?
Sure. These cutscenes are terrible, but like after what we've just seen, they look like Kojima's best work.
That was some damage it took for no reason. I didn't realize until I played this again recently how many stages are like... They have very similar themes with with some reused assets from other characters' levels, but they all have like unique, music and...
At least they're not literally the same level.
Yeah. So, it's not
Tails is wanted.
More
as...
like Mario.
Yeah, it's not as creative as I thought, but it's still pretty good considering. Like, an Adventure 1 is definitely a problem where everyone just had, like, the same stage that wasn't even built for them.
Kind of weird they still do these upgrade things.
They're all pretty helpful, so...
Yeah, no, I don't mean like they're not there. It's just that seems like the fact that you've got to go out your way to pick them up seems more like a hub world thing.
Yeah, they don't really fit in this, except, like, and most of them, I guess you can say they make you gain more powerful.
Yeah, it
I'm
feels
not like saying they suck. It just seems like kind of it feels like a holdover from the first game.
Right, yeah. Watch...
Oh.
It doesn't
watch
completely
physics.
not work, but it is a holdover. Also, as we saw before, the fucking H pack, which is a Steam version thing, because the Red Cross is really mad about Red.
Oh,
All right.
should have done the old Green Cross thing. Then again, you're repairing a mech, so I don't really make a lot of sense anyway.
Oh, well, see, it's kind of weird because you have both rings and a health bar. And
Oh
both
yeah,
of
how does that work?
like, doesn't it work like where you... I forget if you get hit with no rings if you actually die or not. I know
No,
if
you
you
don't.
run out of health, you die. Okay.
Yeah, you can take damage at 0 and still survive. These little lights above the health bar, they light up as you pick up rings, and I'm hoping one of y'all can help me figure out what that does.
Oh,
does
well,
it, like,
it's
heal
obvious.
you if you get enough?
No, because they all heal you.
Is it going up when you get rings?
No, are you sure the rings don't... See, there's a bunch of... Oh no, the rings
Okay,
don't
yeah.
heal you.
Yeah, so...
Was
And,
it what gave you that little capsule thing?
No, that was
No,
an enemy drop.
no, those are enemy drops. Like, it's kind of funny how, like, they have... Now they have the animals, but they also have these just stat sticks. That come from, like, since the military is involved in, like, fighting both of them, because obviously you kind of can't have Eggman fighting Eggman's robots all day.
Those are increasing your health, but I don't know why there's like a set number of them.
I think if
Like
you
each
get...
ring seems to be doing it.
Yeah, I think if you get enough, like, it gives you a slight bit more health. It's weird. I forgot what we're supposed to do here, so if you're wondering what the fuck I was doing, there's a
I wouldn't
switch
wonder,
hidden.
'cause I wouldn't know either.
Yeah.
So I know House of the Dead does this thing where it kind of reminds me of that. If you get like so many perfects in a row, it gives you a little bit of health. But fuck you. Fuck the police.
I guess it was kind of obvious, but it bears mentioning that every character in this game has their own unique style of music, which I think was a really good choice.
I didn't really pick up on that, so
Really? Okay.
glad you
So,
said it.
yeah, like Knuckles gets his raps. I mean,
Because
Sonic,
that's the most obvious one.
yeah, Sonic and Tails get very similar kind of sounding rock things, but
They've
Tails
always
sounds a
been
little
similar
more
characters.
Shadow gets like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like very tool-like. It's the best way I could say it. It's very kind of dark industrial kind of stuff. And then Robotnik gets more kind of like slow metal. And then Rouge is, I'm not sure what you would call it. Like someone who's better at genres is gonna have to define it for me. It's like almost loungy or something.
Fang's theme.
It's immediately what comes into my mind when I see Rouge. It's kind of like, like the Super Spy,
Yeah.
female cat burglar type music thing.
You'll see it. It's
Batwoman.
yeah, Batwoman.
They really missed a trick there not making it a cat. I mean, come on.
But they already have
She's a cat burglar.
they already
They
have a
already-
cat.
Well, the
Stop
thing is, they needed
crying.
something that could glide.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, Bubsy could glide.
Yeah, they should have put Bubsy in.
They should have put Bubsy.
Yeah, at the same time, the kid is gliding doesn't make any sense either. But I mean, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
They should have bought the rights to Bubsy.
It's kind of also interesting how Tails ends up being the one where he is going after his gameplay style is patterned on his dark equivalent rather than the other way around.
Easy.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they couldn't just do Sonic again. I mean, they probably should have, but...
Well, yeah, I think they're like more restrained this time. They're still doing 2 more gameplay styles than they really should, but
I mean,
it's just not 6.
that's the thing, that
Yeah.
they didn't come up with anything new. It's just they took 3 gameplay styles from the first game and kind of fleshed them out a bit more and got rid of the other 3. Although it is funny that, of the 3 gameplay styles they kept, one was Gamma, of all things.
Well, it's a little. Oh, by the way, Water Temple.
Yeah, this level can be kind of annoying sometimes.
2 of the 3 characters are like traditional Sonic gameplay styles, and then the mech thing is just complete. Can I just say how weird it is to have a?
No, like, I mean,
Can I just say how weird it is that there's a playable Robotnik? Like that is, I mean, Yoshi. I mean, is your first Sonic game? That doesn't seem weird, but to me that's really weird.
I feel like a lot
it's
of...
weird, but not the weirdest thing ever. Because I know, like, there's been other kind of. Well, see, the thing is, like in Mario, like there isn't playable Bowser in the Mario games, but like in all the spin-offs, he's totally playable all the time.
Yeah, but this isn't a spin-off, you know.
Yeah, I know. I guess it is kind of weird. But,
Like for someone who grew up with the games, that just seems like really kind of. I'm not objecting to it. It's just like that's weird.
I remember...
I think it's more like because they definitely had. It's not just like he's playable for no reason. It's like they have here's the villains versus the good guys is like a
Yeah.
theme,
It's a
like,
bad
thought
choice.
out.
I remember it being weird, like, because this is the first 3D game I played of the Sonic series, not counting 3D Blast, and I remember it being, like, I actually remember that now, I was like, wait, he's called Eggman now? Why?
Still said Robotnik there.
Oh yeah, he
He gets
does
both.
like. Yeah, he did say Robotnik on his things. Like they're really weird about it, but you'll see.
Yeah, but it is weird because, like, because in Adventure, it felt like they kind of introduced it in a way.
Yeah.
Whereas here, now it's been established, but no one played Adventure 1 because it was the Dreamcast. So,
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, I don't know anyone who had a Dreamcast, so... It's just my
Yeah, but I
personal
wouldn't
experience.
say. Well, I mean, this was a sequel to the. Yeah, this sequel's on the Dreamcast already. It's not like.
I mean, I'm just saying in terms of, like, my experience. I don't know how many people actually played it. I just mean...
It's pretty popular.
I just remember...
I mean, I know the Dreamcast didn't sell that well, but it wasn't like a complete dud.
I think you're
A
missing
lot
the
of
point,
people
but
were
anyway.
there for the first 3D.
Of course, it does bring up that like when they were originally designing it, they wouldn't be thinking that way. Like they're thinking if someone played 2, they probably played 1 because they're on the same system.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, is I get that. I just, for me, like, I didn't know anyone who played the first one. I didn't play the first one. I didn't even really hear about it And so picking up this, it's just like, they just casually refer to him as Eggman. I'm like, I guess that's a thing now. It just came out of nowhere, and I'm like, alright.
So we're kind of talking over how terrible this level is. This level is terrible.
Yeah, I for some reason in that last area, I thought there was a different exit, and there wasn't, and I just kind of ran in circles. And I thought about redoing this level, but something kind of funny happens. So...
This is like the water temple. It is the water temple mechanic.
And there's a third level for the water, and it's like up here, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And you have to jump that, which is kind of awkward because there's a ceiling to walk into.
Yeah. There's this stage and like a couple others where like you really hope you don't have to get an emerald from one certain part of the stage, which is much harder to get to and maybe even like hidden than all the others.
Yeah.
And like how difficult your run is depends on whether or not that part of the stage comes up.
Can we just point out that when he digs, he just goes "ora ora," like
Yeah.
it's an English voice.
There's
like Eggman going "Yosh."
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, it's Yosh. He does that a lot. So
I don't know if the in-game vocals are the same voice actors or the Japanese voice actors.
It's closer.
Well, I mean, well, never mind. There's a lot of English voice acting, but I mean, like, the very, like, the stuff that's like, you know, that kind of
Oh, I see what you
non-vocal
mean.
shit.
I think it is dubbed. Because they're like they sound the same. Also, yeah. So this is a completely optional power up, by the way. It's super.
I was gonna say, you could have easily missed that, surely.
Yeah, I could have, and actually, the emerald was right before that room. So, like, just ironically, it happened to be in the area I was looking for anyway.
Huh.
Because that power-up comes in handy much later. It's actually kind of weird how little use it gets, considering, but there is another
Hey,
level with water.
now you have a Jedi rebreather. Good job.
Yeah, I feel good.
That wind quote, like, Jesus.
Good, you got 8.
Only 142 more to go.
I like the timestamps, like that means anything.
Well,
What does it?
I mean, it is 2 stories going on congruently, which I kind of forgot is actually consistent with Adventure 1, but it's 2 stories rather than 6.
I think 2006 does that as well, I think.
Outer space?
Yeah. Actually, if I remember right, like, very early on, it was considered to be Sonic Adventure 3, so...
I don't doubt that for a second.
This cutscene is one of my favorites, by the way, because a lot of it doesn't make any
I must
sense.
have got lost in the mines. Looking for the Master Emerald pieces was tougher than I thought it would be. Where are we
The whole song's really mellow.
Hey, where
Yeah, he is really mellow in this game.
Side, Knuckles. I managed to find the transcript between Eggman and the president in the government computer.
Yep.
President's email right now.
Yep.
Yup.
If we
That's
get
a wait a minute.
we can trace the call.
It is weird even to me.
Okay, let's meet up there.
This is the introduction, it's still really weird.
Look at all those buildings that are missing their sides. And I just love that Amy tried to pull Knuckles out, like, get out of the way, and then it didn't matter. So it was like, alright, well, why was that there?
I forgot about this.
Yeah, so, there's one of these levels for both stories, and they can burn in hell, and I hate them.
Right.
And not because they're, like, any difficult or anything, they're stupid easy, unless you're doing the missions, in which case you get things like, don't touch the cars, don't touch the walls, and don't touch the cars or the walls. And try to A-ranking that is one of the biggest hells I've ever been through. And fuck this stage.
So can I say the weird thing about this, which makes no sense, is that you know how you kind of start slipping as you take corners and such?
God, yeah.
Basically, if you put yourself in a constant state of slipping, you go faster for some reason.
Oh, right. I was more so...
And that seems like it's actually intended because I'm pretty sure that's the only way to get some like the time targets.
Oh,
Can I
Jesus.
just say this?
It's like
level
snaking, but stupid on purpose.
This level design is kind of shitty. It's just like, oh, just throwing a track in the air. Fuck it.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like a
it's-
badly made Trackmania stage.
Yeah. Also, this is one of the playable things. There's like a whole mode for playable kart racing.
Yeah, like everyone's got their own car, and there's a whole like kart racing thing, and I don't remember ever doing it. I played this game a lot. I still remember doing the kart racing.
Tails, did you find the president?
It's like really bad outrun.
It's it's weird because when you're playing this, if you ever let go of the accelerator, you just start skidding, and then you will continue to skid until you like slow down.
They're dead, by the way.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
It's so like you'll see me at certain points just like start skidding just for the hell of it, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's what you do to go fast.
it's so weird.
You never driven a car before? You don't like do like weird zigzag patterns? to speed up?
There's no indication that this makes you go faster until you learn about it in the strategy guide.
I mean, I know it's not exactly a realistic game, but that don't make a lick of sense.
It's
Why would that make you go faster? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, it's not an intuitive mechanic, is the thing. It's
I mean, I
not
guess
that
like Mario
it's
drifting, like
realistic. It's that it's a mechanic that's kind of necessary, but you have absolutely no idea what way to figure it out that it exists.
Mario Kart drifting doesn't make any sense either. But anyway, they like sparks shooting up the back, and you guys, I guess like the wheels are revving up, and then it's released or something. I don't know. It just I wouldn't guess that it's making you faster. It just looks like you're fucking up.
Yeah, exactly. Like Mario Kart, obviously it's displayed in the manual, and obviously when you're doing it, you're progressing towards something. You get the sparks, and then you get a noticeable speed boost when you're done.
I was one
It just
ring
looks
short.
like, oh, I'm about to crash. Whoa!
I do love how everything he does is in the Tornado 2 or whatever, which is a thing that was established in Adventure 1. So it's like,
Hey,
hey,
President,
congrats.
reports show that since
We
the
could play it
incident
with
3 hours
remote
ago,
play.
The country is in turmoil.
No.
Financial communities are impacted, and
Which
our
country is
satellite
this?
communications
This
are
is,
down.
I guess it's the
An
States. I mean, it's
emergency
clearly
meeting
San
has been
Francisco.
called. Mr. President.
Yeah,
this
I
is
think
national
later on
crisis.
I think it's always vague. It's kind of implied to be the U.S. because of everything and the fact that there's a president. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it could just be, a country, U.S.-like country in this planet.
Again, I said this plenty before, but someone who grew up with the cartoons and comics, like just here's a very human-looking president. Like what? Huh?
Otherwise,
That's not entirely
That's-
their fault, unlike most of the things in this game. Like they did say your country there instead of. I mean, this one is kind of tame. It's stupid, but it's sort of like a cameo. You sort of like they hack into they run up to the president, hack into his thing to trace the signal to Eggman, and leave, and that's all we get of the president.
I
It's-
don't hate it. I'm not pissed, but
Yeah, I'm
it's
not-
just
I'm not
really weird.
It is really weird, but the way they handle it is kind of cool. Like, just it's kind of cute and a side thing. And I'm saying that because things get a little weirder later on.
Oh my god.
Things get a lot weirder later on without that, and it's not like that, okay? That's why I'm talking about it.
I saw Eggman.
You know, it's weird, like, the last game the pacing was glacial, and here it's like a little too fast. It's just suddenly you blink. Oh, in the desert, huh? What?
saw them too.
I mean, this is what you
I mean,
want.
I know which
right?
one I'd prefer. No, I know which one I'd prefer, but I just kind of find it very funny. It almost feels like an arcade game, like the way it just cuts. Oh.
Nice misspelling of Imperial.
Oops.
It's Imperial now.
I guess, like, they did learn a lot from their mistakes. It's just they turned out.
They
like-
had so far to go.
Yeah, they turned out something.
Well, don't worry, they learned
mediocre in
the
the end.
lesson. Oh wait, no.
See,
I remember this sucking because it really puts an emphasis on platforming.
Yeah, I mean, you have the hover, so it's kind of just meh again.
Horrible. Yeah.
the hover helps a lot, but yeah.
I thought it was just shooting on Bomo Trail.
Maybe
Like,
I was gonna say the theme song is like, it's like Team Sonic. They're just like hey, you know, we lived and we learned, and now here's something very, very boring instead. That's just bad.
Got a
Tiger.
tiger.
I was like very on the fence about doing secret stuff. I was like, there's nothing that could be that good, but I'm still kind of curious about it.
I don't blame
You might pick up an air rebreather.
Yeah, there were powers. I was like, maybe there's more optional powers. I honestly don't know how many I missed. I know I didn't get all of them, especially because the Mystic Tune or whatever. But I feel like I missed at least one.
I think, other than the Mystic Tuner, and maybe no, you get the bounce pad, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think other than the Mystic Tuner, I think the only ones that are, like, completely optional, besides the air rebreather that you found, are, like, health and health upgrades for, Tails and Eggman. Stat upgrades, not actual abilities.
There's the one I'm actually thinking of is there's one for Rouge, because Knuckles has it as well, and it is also optional, and it's really weird to see it.
Oh. I guess I always got that one.
I don't even remember where the Rouge one is, honestly. I think it's in the final Rouge, but I could be wrong.
I guess I always stumbled into it on that stage. Or at least I stumbled into it the first time I did it, because, you know, what you stumble into and what you don't on those stages is random as hell.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, you know, knew what
Yeah,
it was.
it's like when you can, you know, when you have it in memory, but here I'm just like, where is it?
I like when Tails grabs that, it's just him holding it with his hand, meaning that he's presumably with his seatbelt supporting the entire weight of the mech
Right.
on his waist.
Oh, cartoon logic is fun.
He just does it, he just gets torn in half.
I don't know what that's for. I was like, well, there's some stuff to shoot, and I shot it, and I'm like, okay. No clue what that does.
Hey, look! It's the spiky guys from an actual... I was gonna say an actual Sonic game.
I would, I'm not afraid to say that.
But it's important to remember that this is an actual Sonic game.
They weren't afraid to change the... This is like this... It's like the Star Wars prequels of Sonic. I mean, like, they're terrible, but at least you can't complain they didn't try something new, I guess. I guess.
I don't know why I'm bringing this up now. I keep forgetting that Sonic 06 actually has a name, and that it has no name. It's
Oh,
just-
yeah, it's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, which is
dumb.
Why do people keep... Well, like, they keep doing that a fair bit. Not all the time, but like, fucking Castlevania 64 is just Castlevania.
Oh, they do it all
Right.
the time. They
The,
do- the latest Twisted Metal was Twisted Metal.
Castlevania Circle of the Moon in Europe is just known as Castlevania, because I don't call it that, because fucking... what?
That's a really weird one. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Not like
nah.
Europe missed any of the previous games. But anyway, like, something with like Twisted Metal, it's a lot different when like the game has been active and suddenly they go back to that, as opposed to like Twisted Metal where it died for a while and then
Yeah, it was like a reboot. I think the
And
idea with Sonic
here it
06 was like they were very confident with being like a restart for the series. That big like rebirth is gonna like completely rethink Sonic. Obviously, it died on its ass, but
I just
the
want
idea.
to point out, because I just noticed this, whenever he's hanging from that pulley in a way that makes no sense, you could spin around and shoot the laser, and the pulley doesn't spin with him. So it's like, it just like, it has no logic behind it.
Damn, you ruined this game for me. I thought it was perfect.
you break his wrist 30 times by spinning around in circles.
I mean, you look at it, you're just like, ah.
I mean, I don't know how his tails like spin to be a helicopter. So
Yeah, all his limbs are just like that, you know? Even his head, he could just do a fucking pull.
the Exorcist thing.
I do want to point out, I love how I shot something inside this building. I have no idea what it was. I couldn't see it, but somehow lock-ons. Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's just.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Pretty
it.
long.
I did okay. I don't feel like this like not playing this doesn't do justice how awkward it is to control those fucking things.
Good.
Like, they make really slow turns, and you can't like 180 otherwise.
Hmm.
I mean, you can do a 180, but then you do like this slow like. Ugh, it's weird.
I don't remember much about this soundtrack, I'm not gonna lie.
I like it a lot, but partly nostalgia.
It's good.
I don't.
It's more tightly focused, which means you don't get a lot of the weird variety of Sonic 1. And it doesn't have as much callbacks.
Yeah. I'd say Adventure 1 soundtrack is a little better, but I still like this one.
I don't know, it's just not really sticking out to me for whatever reason. Other than Escape from the City and then Knuckles' weird raps, I can't...
Then again, it has more forgettable tracks in it.
Yeah, definitely.
It hits some of the same highs, but... Oh yeah, now we're a basketball.
Yeah, I actually forgot how important this upgrade is. Like, they actually require you to use it at several points.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. I don't know where it came from. It's not the worst thing in the world.
It came from Sonic 3, the Bubble Pug Shield power-up.
Yeah, but no? I don't know.
I mean,
it's basically functions the same way, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing, aside from the fact that you don't need a shield to use it now.
I don't know why they just couldn't have power up, but... could have upgrades, I guess. That bouncing thing never came back in any form, did it? Because I don't really recognize it, I just think, like, that looks weird.
I guess not, I don't know.
The Lightspeed Dash was in Heroes, and...
Yeah, the Lightspeed Dash they kept a lot.
That's Gamma, I just realised that.
Yep, I remember mentioning that before. They're really annoying because they can just shoot you. Like, if you get near them and you don't hit them, like, real fast, they'll shoot you, and the projectiles will beat out anything that you do. And, so more often than not, you'll get hit by those motherfuckers if you go after them, so I think I tend to avoid them at some point. Yeah, that guy likes to grab you.
Time.
And the homing attack put me up here for whatever fucking reason. Yeah, like that. Because I just find them annoying.
What's that you got?
It's a key. They established this earlier. You just this weird key and lock thing, which is kind of random. Also, you can kill people with it. I forgot about that. Oh yeah,
Trying to pick it up, and it's overloaded with the space dash button. So
yeah,
space dash.
The Lightspeed Dash is pretty inconvenient at times. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah, you can annoy Omochao if you feel like it.
Well, I mean, what goes around comes around. So it's basically Sandopolis, like, you've got the ghosts and the timed locks.
Yeah, they just kind of hit on that beat again.
I think the music's like not like... I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, this might change later, but it's not really like themed. Like, this doesn't sound very Egyptian, you know?
I mean,
Not directly.
I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not, like, I wouldn't really... If I just went blind and looked at the levels and listened to the music and you asked me to pair them up, like, I wouldn't have guessed this goes with this.
Yeah, I think by going character-based, they kind of, like, ignored stage-based. There's also the fact that they have more stages themed around the same kind of thing.
Because like even Adventure 1 had that going on a fair bit, you know, like some of the tribal music and stuff got pretty out there.
I think
Part of that is that they use the same stage like 6 times, so they get away with using not making 6 different tribal musics because they make the same damn stage.
It's almost fighting game has to make it character-led rather than stage-led.
I think that certain characters get themes, like sometimes their music gets themed, like certain music gets themed for the stage, but I can see that a lot of it isn't. Like all of Rouge's stages mostly sound kind of the same, but like there's one that's definitely like a space one because you know that's coming. So there are some theme ones, but there are a few that are just like that's a Sonic stage.
They seem these Sonic stages seem very linear, but they also seem fine. Like they don't. I remember them being fine.
Huh. No problem.
I feel like this is a good start for 3D Sonic, except it's the second game in the series, and then
they should have done this first and then refined this, not
then they
overly ambitious.
Well, this is the refinement of the first. The Sonic parts too.
That egghead sure loves
Yeah,
the
but
game,
I kind of feel like
I'll bet he has one
like the
or
weird
two
hub
spaceships
world
lying
in
around here
like
somewhere.
6 characters.
The door's locked.
In the first game, like they went too ambitious.
No problem. We can find it.
This is ambitious enough for 3 gameplay styles when you still need the 3D.
We're counting on you, buddy. The world's greatest treasure hunter.
Oh, I forgot they're all supposed to be together.
Oh yeah, that just.
Oh, my favorite Sonic level next to Genocide City.
At least, like, you know, like an ancient pyramid temple, which, you know, that it feels like it would have a death chamber. Yeah, pretty.
Yeah, so
It's kind of weird that they put that in.
I was like, well, I could just restart and, you know, edit out, you know, the deaths or whatever. But then I'm like, oh, that power-up won't actually be visible if I do that, because once you get the power-up, you have it. So, I had to kind of do that. But, this level sucks. I did it like 3 or 4 times.
Right, I was gonna ask.
It's at least one of the areas where the first hint, like, it has colored sections, so the first hint isn't like... The first hint will tell you which color, which is actually something you can use all the time, rather than pumpkin tower. What's the pumpkin tower? Is it those things?
I remember the first attempt at this, I got stumped by one of the emeralds, and the hint was like on the green nose of Eggman. And I don't know what the fuck that means, because I looked at the entire green area, didn't find shit. And so the hints are not terribly reliable. I don't know what I'm doing here.
You're thinking you're closer than you are because of the yellow.
Oh, probably, yeah.
And you need to be on the other side of that door, probably.
The thing is, I did this like 4 times, so I don't actually remember the run that I did that actually succeeded. But I wanted to bring up something. My look through all the vocal music brought up a few interesting things. And mostly, because like somebody will post the lyrics to all the songs, right? So I was like checking them out. Something I didn't realize about this song.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. The thing about this song is like, you can't even really hear, but there's a part in it where the vocalist is like doing the conversation in the cutscene prior to this, where like, you know, Sonic's like, you need to find the key, and Knuckles is like, why do I have to do it? But it's just the one guy, like, not doing impressions or anything. He's just doing both of the characters. And it's really fucking weird. But my favorite thing is at one point in the lyrics, or in the little vocals, he goes like, you gotta find it, Knuckles. And Knuckles goes, yeah, you're right, Sonic. And Sonic goes, you're damn right I am, Knuckles. He actually says, like...
Damn, fourth chaos.
Yeah, he actually, like, as Sonic, he's like, you're damn right. And I'm like, oh, well, that precedes Shadow. Nice.
Of course, coming from
find it.
the music people just being music people, probably.
Yeah. It feels like whoever did these tracks had, like, some sort of, like, freedom with it, because they just did whatever the hell. And that's why, like, you know, like City Escape is a lot more vague. It does a thing where it doesn't name check stuff, but all of Knuckles' music is just name check central.
Why do you fucking say that for?
Including his main theme, which I keep forgetting, or I remember, I just don't know why it's called, like, Unknown from ME. Like, what the
No,
fuck? What is that?
I'm so
mean?
used to video game music that I don't even question it, like shit like that. But yeah, what does that mean? What is
Yeah,
ME?
it sounds more like
Master
something
Emerald?
a Japanese person thought made sense.
Yeah,
Master Emerald?
maybe. I never didn't think about that, but yeah. You have to listen to the Sonic Adventure 2 version of the theme, by the way. It is fucking strange.
Okay.
It's like, if you think the first one's silly, it is, but then imagine that, but there's another song pasted on top of it. Yeah,
Not to make more work for you, but maybe you could like splice it in when you do the commentary edit. Just a snippet of what you're talking about with the lyrics on screen.
oh, maybe, yeah.
Just a thought.
I could. The treasure hunting stages never get better. Like, they just progressively get more and more annoying.
They get bigger.
Yeah.
I've got to remember you cut.
They get harder, which means they're more annoying.
That sound is so obnoxious.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, that's definitely a Steam version issue, where a lot of the sounds, especially the ambient sounds, are really high, loud for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to point out, too, that you'll see it more a little later. Knuckles' running animation is funny because, like, he doesn't, like, hold his arms out or anything, but, like, he, like, just rapidly moves them back and forth, and it looks really silly at top speed.
They are.
Yeah, that's just moving, I
I
guess.
found him.
Hi, Mochow.
I don't want to. This is another thing I don't want to overthink, but you know, it's something I've been curious about since I was a kid. Like, is hands
I feel
like
good.
deformed, or does he have like normal hands under the gloves? Because he doesn't have fingers.
I don't know.
I'm overthinking it. But,
I just want to point out that took me like half of
Who's
10
there?
minutes, which is, you know, normally, you know, the death sentence for Sonic.
Ghost?
And I got a B ranking on it. I also want to mention that I actually really like this boss fight. As, like, nonsense as it is to just fight a ghost for no reason. I think it's pretty well designed.
It's very Mario, especially
It
that
is.
name.
Yeah.
Knuckles looks terrified.
That happened, I guess. But yeah, no, it's it plays to his strengths. It makes sense with the area. It's just it works.
It's a boss fight.
Yeah, because you have to dig him out of the ground when he hides from the light. It's like, it just feels like it just works.
He even gets into the
Sorry.
series' speed, but not in an obnoxious way.
This looks alright. It looks better than what they usually do.
I say that because
As a kid, I always wondered whether you could get 2 hits per cycle or not.
oh yeah,
And it's really fucking tight.
that's what I thought. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that sound. It's the silliest sound, and I had to show it off.
But this is a serious game with a serious story.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say it kind of goes on maybe too long because it's like 4 hits, but I feel like this is way better than most of the boss fights in this game, and it's for some random ghost thing.
Yeah, it's for something that has nothing to do with the plot, pretty much.
Well, I mean, half the boss fights are the damn character battles,
Yeah,
and the other half of the remaining half are weird variations on that first boss.
yeah, the fucking gun mech thing. I just love this run. Look at it.
It's because he's got big hands. I know some of the games, or maybe just the 2D ones, he kind of put his hands by his side when he ran.
Yeah. And that the power-ups don't make him look any smaller.
I also keep forgetting that Sonic Advance, which I did play. I don't think when it's brand new, but I definitely played in the day. I'd obviously use this as like a reference point for a lot of things. Like I noticed Knuckles did it's like a 3-punch combo with like 2 jabs and an uppercut.
Yeah, I remember it has like its own version of the Chow Garden, which is pretty, like neutered by comparison, but it's there.
I would like to say how weird it is that both the Dreamcast version and the GameCube version somehow managed to have a thing where you can put your Chow on a portable thing and take it around and play with them there.
Yeah.
Because it had the VMU and then it had the Game Boy Advance link cable. And everything lined up for that just perfectly slot in to replace the VMU stuff.
I find it funny how quickly Sega went from dropping the Dreamcast to publishing Nintendo games, which at the time just was the wildest like gaming news I'd ever heard.
Oh yeah.
Especially as a kid. Like that was just insane. I just could not believe that.
I like the big thing has always been like Mario vs. Sonic, but like there's like the first time they met in a game, I think, was Brawl. And then there was Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. Which is just weird.
Yeah, of all the ways to use that crossover, like that is not my first choice.
That was pretty rough.
We did it! Let's go, Amy!
There's also parts of these cutscenes I actually kind of like. And I just love that. I just love this.
Come and get some.
He just waves. Like, hey, how you doing?
Just leave it.
Also, Sonic just straight up did the Bruce Lee like no swipe thing.
Yeah, he did.
Call on you to destroy these pests. Come out, my servant.
I am the Eggman! I love
Well,
that.
I can't believe they got the Beatles to compose music for this game.
A part of me was wondering if that had anything to do with them not using that name for the Western release. But
Yeah, maybe.
I kind of have the feeling it was just like, Eggman sounds too stupid.
Yeah, I think that was ultimately it. It's kind of a dumb name.
So yeah, remember the golem from Sonic 3 and Knuckles? I don't know. Here's
It's
some other
back.
dumb thing.
Now you climb up his back and then hit the...
Oh,
We
it's
need
alright,
back chain.
I think. Is it alright?
It's okay. Jumping on that thing can be a little finicky sometimes, but it's just weird how Sandopoulos this whole thing is.
This is very much just a me thing, but the perspective and it alternating those punches at you just reminds me of Spinderella from Dynamite Eddie. And you've got to attack it in the back of the head.
Oh yeah.
From behind. I can't believe they ripped off Treasure.
By the way, the pit down there is not Death Pit, it's quicksand.
Alright, okay.
You can see like power-ups down there too.
Yeah, it's not instant
fine.
death for Sonic, but we'll get to it.
We've got 2 bosses back to back. That's
Yeah.
this series uses bosses weird.
Yeah, it feels like they planned out their plot first and then use that to determine when you got bosses and when you were got stages.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you're right, but it's just they planned out their plot first. That's what's most important to them. No, I get it. Like the set pieces and the levels, I get it. It's just
Right, Rocky.
yo, Adrian, we did it. Oh right, these are yeah. You can tell it's pre-rendered when it goes to 4x3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it. They actually had to do some juggling to make the stage select for the mission select work, because it's basically a map of basically the entire game, like all the different like islands and stuff. It actually is kind of cool.
I'm sorry to interrupt. What the fuck am I looking at?
Sonic got onto a rocket Eggman was shooting out into space.
But
and
that's
he's
not
in
just
space.
that's not just a rocket. That is the space shuttle,
Oh yeah, it's a space.
and it came out of a pyramid. I'm sorry, that's just a really weird image.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
sure, like, you two probably used to because you've seen it, but I'm just like, that is the real life space shuttle, and it's coming out of a pyramid.
Well, it's more
This
that
is
I didn't
weird.
really recognize the real life space shuttle at the time.
The hatch doors are open. Sweat it, Knuckles. The
I
only
think
thing
even
in the
as a kid I
cargo
would have
bay are
recognized
those
that.
Master
Don't
Emeralds,
sweat it.
right?
Land the
Knock
shuttle
it
and
off,
let me
Knuckles.
out.
Holy shit, they are.
Is that a glitch?
Oh no!
No, they are jumping all over each other here.
I was gonna say it couldn't be an audio glitch because this is just a video file.
Yeah, that's the dub in this game. It is not. They
The
didn't.
dub where they all the timings are based on Japanese.
Trying to take over the shuttle. I thought we were toast for sure. Huh?
So I'm kind of like talking over a lot of the cutscenes. So far the plot is just he blew up the moon, so they're just heading to the space station to stop him.
No, actually, he blew up the moon, and they hijacked the president's limo to find out where he was, which it turns out he was in space.
Well, no, he was in that base, like we saw him, but they chased him into space.
No, but that was the point of the limo cutscene, was to find out that he was on the Ark. And then he really quickly got back down to Earth, and then really quickly got back to the Ark.
So hang on, they saw the space station shoot the moon, and then they had to do detective work to realize, oh, he's on that thing that just shot the moon.
Yep.
Like,
I
no
still
shit,
think
I'm pretty sure I'd go to the thing that shot the moon first.
I still think he was in the base. I'm not
No,
sure though.
because there is levels where he is in space before that happens. You'll see that in the Dark Story. And then there's this.
Wouldn't you just naturally go to that thing first that shot the moon? It's a kid's game, I'm sorry.
No, listen to this. It's a fake emerald that has emerald energy, but it's reverse energy.
They reversed the polarity.
This thing is like very important, and it's like Tails just made this.
Also, this Ark is like an abandoned colony, space colony from like a while ago too.
Oh,
Why is
yeah.
Amy here?
Because people like her, I guess.
Cause girls.
It's almost like she was supposed
I
to
don't
have
know
a
if it's
gameplay.
not like people girls.
How many games has she been playable in? Like Adventure 1, Advanced 1. I think she's the secret character in Advanced 2, and she's in Advanced 3, so all the Advanced games.
Sonic
Okay.
Battle.
Sonic the Fighters.
She's a popular fighter, I guess.
I don't know if she's playable in 2006, probably. I mean, it seems to have all the playable characters.
I forget, was Shadow next or 06 next? Which game came next? Shadow the Hedgehog or 06?
Sonic Heroes.
Oh, okay, right, done. Which was
And
after
then
that?
Shadow.
Okay.
Well, like Shadow the Hedgehog was on the PS2, so...
Oh, duh, yeah, okay. And also, I forgot that the story actually is consistent with those, like, heroes.
Oh yeah, he turns out to be a robot or some shit.
Yeah, it's weird, like, the hero, like, this is the game he was established in, but, like, a lot of his backstory is established in future games. Like, they didn't really do a lot with him here.
Because he's mysterious.
Whoa!
Whoa! Look how you're gonna...
I blew up the dynamite pack. I'm sorry. I got sucked out into space.
Yeah, I didn't really show that off, but yeah, if you blow up one of those little like wall panels, there's little vacuums that blow you into space and instantly kill you. They
It's
suck.
more dangerous, but not like instant death. Like it's like a vacuum near it. You know?
Yeah, no, it's just you have to be careful with it.
Correction,
It's
sir.
there.
That's blown out. It's a Star Trek line. Sorry.
I also like that you in these outdoors or like space stages,
You can't get more outdoors than this.
Like, you go in and out of this like arc like constantly, and with all the characters, and gravity just stays the same. Like everything just stays the same. There's not like any attempt to.
This
Like-
isn't Mario not Odyssey, it's Galaxy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's not the Death Egg. Man, that would have been ahead of its time, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, this enemy type, the artificial chaos. Is
Yeah.
kind of,
They're annoying, and I hate them because you can't
Yeah.
shoot them unless their heads are visible. And if like you hit them before their heads are visible, they like reset the timer on when their head comes up.
yeah, they reset their animation.
So yeah, no, they're pains in the ass. And I nearly got hit there. Oops.
You know, one of those things that's never really said out loud. You know that pattern on the balloon there, the circle with a star.
Yeah.
Like, that's a recurring motif in the Sonic series, and I just wanted to acknowledge it. I just wanted to just say out loud, I acknowledge the circle with a star in it. Just
Oh, yeah.
at least one.
I think it first showed up on the. I don't know when it first showed up, but it first showed up on the Bouncy Cat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My power is failing.
You can shoot all these for a bonus, and you're like, I don't care. Just what it's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going for scores. So.
No. No, you are doing. I'm not complaining. You are doing what I would do.
There's also the fact that if you shoot too much, like, you can blow up these dynamite packs that break open the floor. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that... That's like how they add challenges on these stages, is make stuff you don't want to shoot.
Which
But
is awkward because it's like a really loose aiming reticle that locks them up.
Yeah.
And you can't unlock on.
You can if you just hold it so long that it just fades out and dies, but that's not ideal.
Oh, okay.
Bazooka.
Bazooka.
Oh, for the Vulcan cannon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, everybody has an upgrade that breaks the iron boxes. It's kind of weird.
It's a very simple, gating mechanism upgrade that applies to everything.
Also, the camera did not want to cooperate with me
Actually,
there.
I don't know if Sonic has iron box breaking.
He does.
I kind of feel like a dumbass for like referring to this as like it,
Oh,
there was
hey, there was
big.
big on the side.
Oh, I missed it.
Space, yeah.
It was on the
Those
left.
were actually cut from the GameCube version and restored in the all the big cameos.
Huh. I remember that. Because I noticed him a couple of times. He's in, like, every single stage, I think. This is one of those things that just around.
Also, I think he was one of the mech playable characters in the Dreamcast version in the battle mode.
What?
Okay. I don't know about next one.
That,
What the hell's going on here?
that sounds bizarre as hell.
What's this?
Space.
Yeah,
This is space.
no idea.
This is how space
Well-
works.
Why? I'll just assume tall here.
Oh yeah, and the laser is, of course, kind of going where, it naturally would. So, aiming it is not a thing. And then these sections are kind of weird, but...
I mean, they're kind of optional score sections. Then the mini boss.
The shoot until it dies. This is basically a Siren Demon, yeah.
I did it!
The amount of overlapping. Okay, there's astounding too.
Everything is okay.
That was a little tough.
I don't remember what the total rings is for.
That's use them as currency in the Chow shop.
But the Chow Shop isn't there.
Okay,
But
Sonic.
then it's left over from something.
Put down the emeralds.
Tail.
Oh no, they've been kidnapped.
Don't worry, it's just tail, not tails.
I love these loading screen hints that are just so short because it's like
Oh,
those didn't exist until the 360 version. So
Oh, yeah.
they basically only work on the 360 version, and now you have the Steam version, which loads in like 3 seconds because it's a modern computer.
I would say this is not my first attempt at this level. The first one went so horribly, and then I was like, oh yeah, there's a secret in this level, and then I spent like 15 minutes trying to remember where it was.
Oops.
But it's one of the optional upgrades, and you have to
That's
hit.
kind of cool.
Yeah, those things just go flying. They're kind of fun. But
Is this Knuckles' final stage?
yes.
Okay.
Both of their final stages are in the space ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you had 2 space ones.
No, this is it. But yeah, you get these things that you can enable to see objects randomly.
Invisible crap.
Yeah.
You get the lens of truth.
I forgot there was also a whistle button, which I don't know
What does that
that's
do?
for. I don't know idea.
Wait, hang on. That didn't make them visible. That just made them appear.
Yep,
Yeah.
that made them exist.
Programming.
I can't.
I can't.
I love that. So this stage is the ultimate version of everything you hate about the treasure hunting stages. Actually, no, this isn't it. Rouge's is, but this is like pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, they're both ultimate. Like, normally, they would both be the same thing, but, like, Rouge is extra fun.
Yeah.
It's infamous.
Yeah.
It is mad space. Mad space. But yeah, a thing about the treasure hunting stages is to make it more difficult, you make it more annoying.
Yeah. And the thing about it's like you would expect it to be because it's all vertical, so you would think like maybe if I'm on the right level, I'll get the green. But no, the level is so big around that you would actually have to be in certain spots to see it.
Yeah, which is good game design in that it's good and that means you can't cheese the level, but it's bad in that you probably should be able to cheese the level because the level. It's a lot of decisions that would make sense if the gameplay was compelling, but if it's not, suddenly all these decisions that make you have to interact with the gameplay feel bad instead of good.
Also, you randomly get hit by meteors because space.
Cause I know I've done this at some point in history, years ago, probably over 10 years ago now. I just remember Pumpkin Hill being like the one that annoyed me the most, but I think it's just because I got some particularly stupid riddles.
Yeah, you
I didn't even think like you could reset it. I wasn't even sure if it was randomized or not. So.
Yeah, no, this.
But I know I've done this, but I remember Pumpkin Hill being the one that really got under my skin.
Yeah, you just had a very special emerald touch you in a very special place.
Pretty much.
I'm telling you, that was a complete edge case. Like, these things are actually, like this level is actually Knuckles' like worst level, and it's because you have no idea where the fuck to go at any point. Like at some point I'm like using hints, and I'm still just like one of them. Remember, it was like more precise. It was like in the middle of a bunch of meteors, and I'm like, the fuck does that mean? I forget if it's this run or not. It's like the levels are so big that once you actually like. You only get the green in some parts when you already know exactly where it is. Like, if it's in that corner of the map, you're like, oh, okay, then it's probably in that one area at the very end. But you won't know that until you're already there, and you have to find that area first. As opposed to just, running around the map until eventually you see green.
It's a very interesting thing where all 3 gameplay styles were developed and made more coherent and made for themselves and stuff, and with the other 2 styles, like, that's okay, except for the part where Tails controls badly, but that's not really specifically tied to that. But here, making it better somehow makes it worse.
What? Yeah. Why are the emerald shards here again? I've forgotten.
Because they got knocked out of the spaceship when they drove in.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, sorry. I was ready to pick on this game.
Yeah,
That
it's
one-
like a lot of meteorites. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Good. Good.
Yeah, I remember the hints being equally enlightening in Pumpkin Hill on that one infamous session. It's like, I can't remember specifically, but it was so stupid. Yeah, like you said, Yoshi, like the stupid. Like I saw Pumpkin Mountain, like what the? Everything looks like a pumpkin. Everything looks like a mountain. What does that mean? Like, doesn't narrow it down. Also, I just want to say the shard you got just before, like that was a really random place. Like it was just in the dirt in just this general area. There wasn't like a landmark. There wasn't really special. But it was just I was just by this at the base
Yeah, no.
in the dirt.
I was looking. I keep looking for like specific landmarks, but no, that one was just kind of there. And,
This is making me appreciate the Sea of Thieves riddles a lot more. Then again, you can't really move this fast in that game.
yeah, because they actually have like pretty distinct landmarks in all of those islands, you know.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had some very frustrating Sea of Thieves riddles, but I
Yes.
don't know, at least they're usually in a place that makes a bit of sense, and the riddles can be pretty vague, but better than this. Like, hello to meteors. Oh, what, in Meteor Herd?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, really?
That last hint is the most specific one. Like they get progressively more specific. That one was like it was in a herd of meteors after you use the spring, and I'm like, what the fuck is the spring? There are multiple the spring on this level.
Yeah, but it's, the spring.
This level, it in order to make it more difficult, they made everything more big, and the result is there are no threatening enemies.
Oh god, yeah. Then again, you get hit by meteorites randomly, but that's not gonna kill you probably.
Yeah, they don't go fast enough to kill you in a Sonic game. I mean, shoot off enough. The fire rate of the meteors.
Yeah, yeah. You grab one ring and it's like, alright, well that threat's gone. I'm just so confused at this point. Because it's like, I haven't seen green yet, you know? And it's like, I haven't got anywhere near it. And here's a free life, hooray.
You could play this round 30 times and not get a better run than this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is why I was complaining so much before. I mean, I was kind of like over the top, yeah. But this is not what I want from Sonic. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it's
this
like,
just feels like busy work.
I'm just like hitting random meteors. I'm like, which one is the right meteor? What?
I do think there's a video of me doing that infamous Pumpkin Hill session, or the audio's botched, so you can't tell what I'm saying apart from like the occasional loud fuck and what the fuck.
I'm willing to bet money that I actually told you that you can restart, and you were just like, no.
You probably did.
And then you're like,
Probably.
no, that means I'd have to get the other ones again. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, and you
I think
didn't
that was
really...
me balancing. Yeah, but that was me like balancing out. Oh yeah, but it'll take longer to start over. But I didn't realize just how hard it would be when I made that decision. Like, oh, I'll get it soon. Like, it can't be that hard. Like, I'll get it soon. And then it was like 5 minutes had passed. I'm like, oh, yeah, I should have reset it. But then I was like adamant, like, no, I want to find this fucking thing now. Because I think towards the end, I mean, this was years ago, but I think by that point I was just like, I've got to know where this was. Like, I don't want to just reset. I've got to know where it was. And sure enough, it was like in some sort of like Switch puzzle I never would have even guessed.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
That is bullshit. That
Yeah.
is bullshit.
The hints were actually necessary because I would have never found it otherwise.
740 time bonus.
I have to try.
I think I'm justified in my hatred of these knuckle stages. Fuck 'em.
I mean, it's weird because yours is a weird edge case, but I mean, I don't think they're very good
I
either.
think the only thing that's weird about you is you hate Pumpkin Hill.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the second one, one of the easiest ones. Oh, that really hard level.
Well, yeah, I
It's
know.
because of that damn train bullshit.
CJ, we just had to get on the damn train.
If that's how you want to play, I will take it from
Oh, this character we've seen twice so far.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, she's playable, so we'll see her more later.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's just, can I just mention right now, I love her ear physics. what the fuck were they doing?
What?
Remember that thing that opened up in the middle? Now it's also like a vacuum. It's like a wind thingy.
Yeah, so, no, these fights suck. They all suck. They're all stupid. And this one's especially
Yeah, I get
weird.
really fucking confused.
Yeah, like,
I've
you have,
realized from playing certain games, like, I like one-on-one kind of fights against humans or at least creatures like the same size as you. I like fighting Julius in Castlevania. I like fighting Krauser in Resident Evil 4. I'm apparently the only person on Earth who likes the Morpho in Doom Eternal. But these character fights, these are garbage. These are all terrible.
that was actually the point where I realized, oh yeah, those like 2-player mechanics where you attack the opponent, those are actually in the game, in the story, and I'd forgotten about that. They can all do this weird thing where they just kind of like do a super pause and then hit you from anywhere on the screen.
I think you can dodge it if you're moving.
Yeah, I mean, I dodged it there, but
Yeah. But yeah, in the multiplayer mode, those are powered by rings.
here it's like, if the opponent... That fight is so much... Okay, so
another
she
gonna
has
say her again.
wings, she can't fly, I guess. Stupid. I hate it. Anyway, like, the fact is, like, in that fight, the opponent can get away from you, and then you have to find them on, like, the 2 stories that they could possibly be on those, like, fucking beams. And while they're away from you, they just keep bombarding you with that attack and standing still. And it's super annoying.
This isn't
This-
a joke, you know. Think what you want, Batgirl. I was saving the Master Emerald.
We never really touched on Rogue's design. I managed to take the 2 words and fuse them together
What?
into one new word.
Just take them. They stink like a kidney.
I mean, there's more time for that in the actual Dark story,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, I hear it. Yeah.
yeah.
I think
They
this
sampled-
character fight wouldn't be nearly as bad if it weren't for the ground opening up and then the wind goes and the AI having no idea how to deal with that.
Yeah,
And so
no.
they can, projectile attack. I mean, it probably wouldn't be good, but it wouldn't. This is the only Knuckles and Rouge fight too, and it happens with this really stupid gimmick.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Everyone else gets like 2 fights, but that one, they get just the 1.
Crazy gadget.
This is maybe my favorite level in the whole run.
Good to know.
Not
Oh,
for the
we
reasons
could do that. I didn't know we could do that.
Not for the reasons that you might think. Just yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say this level is bad.
No, it's almost fine. It's got some interesting stuff in it.
Like, gravity fun times.
I don't know what caused that, by the way.
I think that's one of the really rare attacks some of the artificial chaos can do.
I guess so, because I guess he was in the room, but I don't know what caused. Is it a projectile? Does he just do it? I don't know.
I just realised all the characters they introduced in the previous game have already all been dropped. For this one, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Gamma is kinda back, but not really.
Not really.
And
And they officially actually killed him off, so.
I think I said they eventually killed off Big, so. But no, yeah, he gets to make cameos now. But yeah, no, he doesn't. Well, I guess he gets to be playable in Heroes, but they didn't really do so
I
much.
was going to leave this for like the heroes commentary, but I was always kind of impressed how they managed to get all these like teams balanced out. One can fly, one's the power character, and the other one's a speed one, and it all kind of worked.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
all
they
teams.
didn't really make any new characters except sort of Omega, but not really.
Not really.
I heard Cream was originally going to make a debut in Heroes, but then they're like, that's kind of weird. Let's put her in Advanced 2 first, or something like that.
I remember being like, "Who the fuck are the Chaotix?" And it's like they're from another game.
You know,
Really?
they're from the best. best spin-off. I remember seeing them and we're like, where's Mighty? Because I already knew they were. I guess I'm in a very, very specific group where I was young enough to play Sonic Heroes when it was new, but also like old enough to know who the hell the Chaotix were.
Mighty has more playable appearances than Vector, doesn't he?
Sega Sonic, the arcade game, and Sonic Mania.
And yeah, so yeah.
Vector's the... No, I think they're tied.
No, because Vector's got Chaotix and Heroes. What else does he have?
Well, yeah, but Mighty's just 2 as well.
No, Mighty's got Sega Sonic, Sonic Mania, and Knuckles Chaotix.
Duh, yeah. Sorry.
Where's the other Chaotix character? I don't know.
Oops, I forgot to pick up the power up.
Yeah, that was just kind of there, and I just went right over it. And the game let me do that.
Vey the Flying Squirrel has as many appearances as well. Yeah.
Not
Vector.
appearances, because Vector actually
And Charmy, I guess. Espio at least had the privilege of being in Sonic Fighters.
Yeah. I believe the entire Chaotix team shows up in Shadow the Hedgehog, like, as in shit.
Not playable. Just his corpse bouncing for eternity.
I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often, given Sonic's world.
Yeah, before you just fall off the screen.
Yeah, sometimes you use those like things to change the gravity. Sometimes you just hit a spring so hard that gravity flips.
I was being very careful then.
That enemy is like, remember that stupid room in Final Egg? Here's that, only once you kill the head, everything else dies.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
remembered, maybe I shouldn't talk too much about heroes, but we'll get to it, but I remember all these enemies had like a consistent kind of uniform robot design. And they're kind of doing this here, not as much.
Well, yeah, the big thing is, there's kind of like three factions of enemies. There's the gun robots, there's Eggman's robots, and then there's the leftover experiments of the Ark.
Alright.
And it does make sense, but it does mean there's like, you know...
Wait, no, what is the artificial chaos?
That's what I meant by leftover experiments of Ark.
But why was the Ark okay.
Yeah, don't ask why. I just meant... I meant they have thematic groups. Not necessarily that the groups make...
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
They are thematically grouped.
And then...
Also, this is the big set-piece gravity puzzle, which is fine.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
The switches can be a little...
It can be awkward as hell, but at the same time, you aren't challenged too much. And I know there's some really stupid things you can do in speedrunning.
Yeah.
Also...
Oh, they did that injured. Ow.
Hi, Big.
Oh, who the hell is that?
How you doing, Big? Okay, see ya. I don't
know where I am.
You're not supposed to meet Big and actually be on his location. Yeah, you managed to slip in a very odd place. Yeah, see, that's the spot.
I don't know if it's a soft... Well, you could have killed yourself, right?
No.
Yeah.
That was soft lock. I could not move. Literally, the only thing I could do was pause the game and restart. That was...
Okay, so suddenly you just proved me wrong about everything I said about this segment.
I'm glad you kept the outtakes in, because it gives it like a true indication of what this game's actually like. If it looks flawless, then, you know, it's not a true representation.
That's the thing. A lot of my deaths, I felt like they were pretty appropriate. Some of them were just me being dumb, but that was the moment where I'm like, holy shit, really?
You know, you draw a line somewhere like, I'm glad you cut out failed Knuckles levels, because God knows I don't need to experience those multiple times over. But, yeah, no, the funnier deaths, yeah, no, go for it, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, right, so that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, but it like puts you in, I guess, a cutscene, but since you don't actually hit the rails, it's just like, it doesn't know to give you control again.
I just realized the rings weren't realigned, so they were kind of like rolling.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised they're all like 3D rendered objects, not just sprites. I mean, I know this game isn't stupid old, but
Yeah, because they could have gotten away with them being sprites.
I do very much appreciate it when things use 3D objects instead of sprites, though.
Yeah.
Assuming, of course, you know, it is 3D.
could they kill you if they landed on you?
I don't know.
I think they can.
If the missile is not there, you have to go back.
Shut up!
Thanks so much, Hal.
Oh yeah, he's telling that you may have missed a switch somewhere and have to go back through that goddamn maze.
Luckily, I did not do that.
Huh. No problem.
So, I want to point out that I had 14 lives going into that, or coming out of that, rather. Just, wanted to throw that out there real quick.
I don't remember this fight being that bad.
It is when you don't know what you're doing.
I mean, these fights. Both of them. Forgot about that. Okay, time to hand over the hostage.
Let's take
It's not gonna hit her from there, but okay.
Hand over the Chaos Emerald slowly, and then we'll talk about
These cutscenes are crap. Like, these are not well made or well animated. But it's just this whole experience is just compared to Adventure 1, it's so much better.
It's weird, yeah. I like how he isn't doing anything crazy with, like, machines or whatever. He just has a gun pointed at her.
Yeah. I also like that they've like got the mouths right this time instead of just whatever the fuck was going on with the first game.
Yeah.
You thought you could trick me with that fake emerald, didn't you?
Oh no, not that MacGuffin.
How did you know it wasn't the real one?
Because you just told me, Fox Boy.
Okay, I've
makes
definitely
no
heard that
sense.
before.
That makes no sense.
Surprise Pikachu face.
I'm counting on you, Tails.
They actually explain that in the Dark story, by the way. Like, there is a reason that he knows. I actually kind of blanked on it myself.
No, but it doesn't make any sense that like he does that line because you told me it was fake.
Yeah, I just wanted to make him feel stupid.
Yeah, I think it was just him being a dick.
And also,
Fair
like,
enough.
we've got the same perspective as
Powerful than the real one.
The same wavelength and properties.
Is that-
Tails just kind of made this.
Yeah, Tails just made this thing.
just
And
want to
now,
quickly say
not utterly.
we're seeing this from the perspective of the heroes, and I haven't even seen the dark side of this game. So, yeah, from my perspective, yeah, it just sounded like he just did a really weird gambit, and yeah, Tails just walked right into it.
Yeah, because I was trying to think, like, that sounded really dumb, and then I saw the Dark story, I'm like, oh, okay. It's not as stupid as I remember it being.
Which is a really lucky guess from my perspective.
Angry child! Determined!
So, the thing about these fights is, well, especially this
Find
one.
explosive
Right.
barrel in the middle.
Yeah. It's that, yeah, you have this homing attack following you around all the time, and you move like a fucking tank, and if the opponent hits you, you kind of get, like, you get slowed down. Yeah, you get comboed, basically. But,
What the?
Yeah, that's another one of those battles.
Here's my Sunday best!
So, what I ended up learning is that using the melee attack is kind of a death sentence. Because,
The melee attack?
yeah, there is. For him, the propeller, like, shoots out and then comes back like a yo-yo. It's kind of silly. But, like, if you hit him with the melee attack, you lose control for so long that he'll start up his laser, and you'll get hit by it no matter what. And then you won't be able to get out of it before it hits you again. And you can lose a lot of health very quickly in that fight if you don't know to avoid, like, getting near him.
What? Hang on, what?
He used the chaos control.
He used the same chaos control.
I was
that
never
he only
clear on
saw by using a fake emerald that's not as powerful as the real emerald, but it somehow did it.
Managed to use the chaos control.
Something he's seen literally once, and he not only does he imitate it, but he imitates it with something that's not as good.
About Tails and Amy.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. At least he's doing it under duress, so it's not his first plan, but it's pretty stupid.
I mean, there's worse things in these stories.
I'll slam dunk it in there.
Yeah. It's just like saying, like, I've never played a fighting game before. Someone watches Tekken for 5 minutes and goes, okay, I can win Evo with a dance pad.
I love referencing that one thing in part 3 where Jotaro's like playing the baseball game like really badly, and then he just goes, "Okay, I figured this game out." So yeah,
I remember
planning on
this
these rails is a little awkward.
I remember this being not like aggravating as hell, but not.
Yeah, it's a very rail-heavy stage, and they're not the greatest idea.
I remember.
Well, thankfully, there's nothing like that in the next game.
Oh no, of course not.
I remember liking a lot as a kid, and then playing it now, I was kind of okay with it. Like, it's mostly just weird because landing on the rails is really kind of precise sometimes. But
It does, to its credit, it's a different stage. It's a stage that feels like a different mechanic without being crazy about it.
Yeah,
I will say in the era where like the Tony Hawk's games were like big, and I will say like grinding on rails like this just seemed really cool to the point of making real shoes for it. But that's kind of dumb. Like grinding on rails with just shoes is kind of stupid.
It's funny how that continued to be a thing, and we kind of accept it because it's Sonic, but it's still, what the fuck?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, they have the little hole, and I believe his shoes in this game, the models, are different from his regular shoes that he has in the other games.
Oh yeah.
They are.
Yeah, they've got this. The licensed products.
And then later on, he can do with regular shoes because, fuck it, he's Sonic.
I really remember this. We mentioned earlier that the game has alternate costumes for the characters, which is kind of funny considering they're not wearing clothes for most of the part. So it seems kind of weird, but I just remembered, yeah, the alternate costumes are Phantasy Star Zero? Phantasy Star Online. They're Phantasy Star Online crossover stuff.
Oh, right!
There's actually, I forgot to actually find it, there is a part of one of, like, Rouge's stages where you can find, like, the item container from Phantasy Star Online. It's just, like, lying around, just for the hell of it. So, for some reason, they were really big on that.
From it already. Like, a lot of posters for it.
Oh, yeah, the posters, too.
I know that was, like super early, like, MMO. You know, considering just how this is.
Especially for Japan.
Yeah.
I think this game is, like, the Sonic stages and Shadow stages are, like, kind of fun, like, when you get it down, because there's something kind of, like, satisfying about, like, doing the lightspeed dash onto a rail and then, like, hitting it real fast. Like, something about that is pretty entertaining, and I feel like they could have fleshed that out for, you know, sequels, but they just didn't. I don't know what happened. It's weird.
That's what I was saying before, like, if they just refined what worked, you know, like, that's the sensible thing to do, but instead they went every game after that. Like, Sonic Heroes had, like, the 3-character gimmick, which granted is more in line with this than completely diverging the gameplay styles, but it's still very kind of weird and experimental.
Yeah.
And then Shadow the Hedgehog, I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's...
I have seen some things of Shadow the Hedgehog. It is weird how normal of a Sonic game it is, even though Shadow's running around with guns and shit.
Yeah.
It's not actually as divergent as you would have expected.
I've watched a pretty lengthy video review of it, and so it's not completely unknown to me.
It's not unknown to ME?
ME.
Yeah.
Me.
Looks like some
No.
old ruins.
Okay.
What? Was that
Like some
relevant? Oh, you
I don't
think
know.
the power-
I don't know if they're even doing anything right now, but I have speed shoes.
Oh yeah. Well, the speed shoes, that's a thing where depending on how many rings you have, when you hit a checkpoint, you get an item.
It's very like Sonic 3 in that way. Like not necessarily, but like kind of reminds me of how you get the power up
Yeah, this
minigame.
is the only one where you actually use the This is the only character, maybe Shadow does it too, where you actually get the Mystic Metal if you can play it.
Yeah, but
I think that is like an optional path, but it is one you would stumble onto and not something you had to go back for the power up to get.
yeah.
Why did they just randomly put like a Zelda item in a Sonic game?
I don't know. It's like I don't even remember what they're really used for aside from the that one mission.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he burned up on the entry.
Yeah, it happens.
I missed it. That was not intentional.
What is that wobbling? Is that another Steam thing?
No, it's not. That's just
Oh.
one of the weird doodads in this stage. Makes that wobble. It might be that weird fucking enemy that's like this wobbling enemy.
Okay, that makes sense. That would explain why it's a wobbly sound. It's Mr. Blobby.
No, it's not. I think it's those rings.
I don't
Oh god, no, I
Oh.
won't read that.
Damn it.
I'm kind of upset I missed one of the edits there, but
Whatever.
it is what it is.
This is kind of a cool skybox.
Yeah.
Like, very, very Death Egg. Like,
Skybox is
3
down
Death
there,
Egg.
look. Yeah, they knocked it out of the park with the aesthetics of the space station and, you know, running around. You feel like you're in space and like the Earth's down there, and it's really cool.
I was just thinking that, yeah, the going to space thing it's been a trend since Sonic 2, but I guess Adventure never did that.
Yeah, because its villain was ancient ruin crap.
Sure.
I didn't realize how little of like Shadow and Rouge are in the hero side story. It's like
Oh, I'm not getting like any impression from them at all from this.
Oh yeah, they definitely have a lot more going on in their own story. Whereas, I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about like Knuckles too, but at the same time, Knuckles is Knuckles. We already know what he's doing.
Never cease to surprise me, Blue Hedgehog. I thought that capsule you were in.
because the last time we saw him was in the forest.
I die hard. You
I
actually
like
saved
this rivalry, yet they've barely seen each other, really.
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
There's no way you could have activated the Chaos Control
Shadow.
using an emerald that's fake. So, there's more to you than just looking like me. What are
It's
you,
really
really?
softly spoken, I don't remember that.
This is what you get. Just a guy that loves adventure.
Nobody loves adventure.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I see.
Oh, okay. It took me a while to realize what you meant.
Your adventuring days are coming to an end.
Oh, he's got like speech?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see that.
The effect isn't there for some reason, but yeah.
I remember this from Sonic
Oh,
Generations.
we're down to 6 lives.
Yeah, we are. I died a few times on that last stage. This fight is...
This is the final boss fight, by the way, as far as...
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Control.
It's you can get this fight down to a science, except for the parts where sometimes their homing attack just sends you flying into the abyss.
Here's the thing, yeah, like there's that. The thing about these fights is that the lower their health gets, the more they deflect your attack by just jumping, and to a point where it doesn't seem like you can actually do that at all. And it did take me a little while to remember like what I'm supposed to do to get this down like a lot easier. So you'll see.
Yeah, I think this is sort of almost an unintended strat of the homing attack hitting them.
I know I've done this, but like, it's not a race, you're just hitting them.
Yeah, it's just a fight, but the level's breaking. It's actually very similar to the Sonic 3 final boss in that way.
I was thinking
Yeah, it's a
Sonic
collapsing
CD with
fight.
Metal Sonic, but you're not really fighting him, that is a race. I remember
this
the
is a
Sonic
classic.
Generations fight being pretty damn good, but then again, to be honest with you, I mean that's like I would call that a recent game, but that's actually several years old now.
Yeah.
Sonic Generations, like that is almost like that's almost old enough to be included in a retrospective, you know?
At this point, we feel like anything's a recent game if it came out on the PS3 era.
I feel like anything's recent that came on the Dreamcast or later.
So yeah, if you just wait back, he does the 2-player attack thing, and he stands
And
still.
that leaves him an opening, yeah.
Yeah, so you just
Okay.
like wait, spin dash, and then run up to him.
Yeah, the attack will whiff if you spin dash past him. Oh God, what was I doing last night?
Sonic, I did it.
I avenged your death.
Oh right, I think he's dead.
Awesome job, Tails.
Oh no, he's gonna use he's gonna turn to Super Robotnik.
Look outside.
I'm gonna unblow up the moon.
Well, I mean, he had the like timer appear after he blew up the moon, and so the implication is he's ransoming them to take over the world, or else he's going to blow up the world.
I mean, I get it. Yeah. I'm fine.
I'm not
Yeehaw!
not sure
That
where
looks
he put that emerald, but
I shoved it up my ass.
You're a hero.
I mean, like he had to put it somewhere to make the thing malfunction. That was the entire point. But I don't. But he's outside. I don't know. Got nothing.
It's really not much of a plot there, at least on that side.
Not really. No.
It's not so much of a plot on the other side either, but at the same time, it's more. There's more character thing going on.
There's a couple more layers to it, but there's also the fact that there's still like another story after this, I guess.
So we can safely say this is like halfway, right? Like you've beaten half the game, more or less.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah, like what? How is that compared to Adventure 1? Like holy shit! How far into Adventure 1 was this like time?
Oh, we actually haven't finished Sonic's story yet, because that was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And it's because we had a lot more cutscenes that were really slowly paced. And also hub world.
Yeah.
More and more, I'm wanting to do a tier list for this whole franchise when we're done.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
down for that, sure. I wanted to bring up the playlist I found for the Sonic vocal music. Like, was pretty damn liberal with the term vocals. Like, for example, the Metallic Madness from Sonic Mania was on that playlist because it had like sampling, so it had a lot of stuff in it.
Right.
And it actually had the thing you mentioned for Sonic Generations, that fight. It had the music for that in there because sampling. And I heard that, and that actually really made me want to actually see what that fight was like in Generations. So I checked it out. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I suppose we probably are going to get to it at some point, but
Eventually, but unfortunately, I think Sonic 2006 is like Adventure 1 in length as well, from what I understand.
yeah.
I think we might have to just do Sonic or I mean, for Sonic Heroes, like I don't know about you, I'm just gonna do the.
Okay, Sonic Heroes
Sorry,
definitely, because they are straight up the
That's
same
literally-
stages with different things. I think we should do the Dark story because there's something important.
Oh
going
no
on
no
there.
no! All right.
Yeah.
I thought you meant for this. I'm like, Escape recorded it. We're gonna do it.
I hope so.
Also,
Damn.
that
I
was the
need
10th
to
anniversary
refresh
game, by the
myself
way.
on how, like, I
wanna point
really
out
don't
the,
know whether or not we should be, because there
This
needs
was-
to be something to say. The characters do play differently.
Yeah.
We'll
This
get
was
to that
the-
later. Whatever. 2D
Yeah.
battle level 4 has been
Steals the
unlocked.
research from a military base
Oh,
located
yeah.
on an island to the south. The military's top-secret weapon, Shadow, sealed in the space colony Ark.
Just spoil the whole plot for me, why don't you?
This is like...
Have been collected. World conquest will be at hand.
Yeah, like when you beat one story, they give you a video for the promoting the other side.
What? That's weird.
It's 999.
I just want to I want to point out it said in the credits this game was released to celebrate Sonic's 10th anniversary. So
This one?
we're 10 years into the franchise at this point.
Oh, okay.
Jeez. How far we've come.
Because, I mean, anything like that is trumped by the fact that guess what was the 15th anniversary?
Yeah.
It's just like, we're gonna tackle.
I know it's not just that. It's not just that. Don't forget Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis on the GBA.
Oh my god!
Oh, Christ!
That was the same year. Happy birthday, Sonic!
Happy birthday, Sonic! Here's a giant toilet.
Here's 2 toilets.